Ha, everybody. Hothany Hotano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review, a classic review. Yes, a classic review of Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life. So, Stevie Wonder, yes, the wonderful and amazing Stevie Wonder. I am reviewing this record, an album that, frankly, I've been reviewing music for a long time, and Stevie Wonder is really one of those artists that I have been kind of intimidated to review, mostly because at this point, what can you really say about the talent that is Stevie Wonder? He's one of the rare instances where you have someone that truly does it all, from writing to producing and singing and playing multiple instruments, and that talent has actually panned out into multiple awards and accolades, groundbreaking records, immeasurable influence, plus he's just beloved in every corner of the music world. He's an absolute icon. I've never met a Stevie Wonder hater in my life. Except Cal, he doesn't really like him. That's right, I don't. And why is it that you don't like Stevie Wonder? Let us know.
Okay, well, you see, it's all got to do with
Stop talking. Nobody gives a shit if you hate Stevie Wonder, idiot. So yes, Stevie Wonder, he's amazing. I wish I had an hour here to tell you his whole life story. Because while the record we're talking about here is really good, it does also come very deep in his discography. Of course, it follows a very fruitful run of Motown flavored soul records in the 60s, then an even more amazing and adventurous run of albums throughout the 70s, and Songs in the Key of Life essentially serves as the crown jewel, the grand finale for this era. Not just with a double album's worth of tracks, but an additional EP of 4 more songs that was released with the original run of LPs. So over 100 minutes of new music from a popular artist during a time when you had to put that shit out physically. Stevie wasn't just doing it for the streams. Now, for years up until this point, Stevie had been finding a myriad of ways to fuse his soul-inspired songwriting style with jazz, funk, psychedelic music, Latin music too, crafting numerous hits and classics in the process: Living for the City, Don't You Worry About a Thing, Higher Ground, Superstition. But Songs in the Key of Life was easily his most far-reaching album in terms of the stylistic bases it covered, the plethora of guest musicians it brought on, the material it delivered, the influence it had, the boundaries it pushed, how deeply profound and emotionally compelling his writing was. For a record that's so huge you might need to take it in 2 sittings, it's still kind of a breeze because of how packed with highlights it is. There's the smooth and gorgeous soul of the opener, Love's in Need of Love Today, which isn't just a great start to this LP, but also proof of Stevie's angelic voice and great jazzy melodic sensibilities. I'm also usually kind of cynical when it comes to broad messages of love and unity and togetherness, but that skepticism absolutely melts when Stevie is on. His joy and his genuine belief in the possibility of a better world is infectious. So it's a beautiful and lengthy cut, but it's really just a warm-up for some really creative bops to come. Have a Talk with God is some very ominous synth funk with all of these murky key layers and metallic ringing tones. And on Village Ghetto Land, Wonder's balladry takes a surprisingly Baroque turn, the refined strings contrasting heavily with the images of desperation and destitution being painted in the lyrics. The nature of the commentary on this track is pretty obvious, and believe me when I say this is not the only point on the record where the focus is shifted toward the inequity and injustice in the world. The following contusion is some hard-rocking jazz fusion that just does not let up, really shows how much instrumental muscle is behind the great playing on many of the gentler songs on the record. Then I love how this track smoothly transitions into the fan favorite Sir Duke, which is just a fantastic song from Stevie, not just because of how bright and joyous and fun it is, but I also appreciate it as being this broad expression of love for music, with Stevie singing about that feeling great music can give you, while also handing out nods to some classic artists too. Plus, do you know how many bass covers I've seen of this track on TikTok? millions. Really though, the horn and bass lines on this cut are incredible, and this song overall makes for a grand finish for the first side of the first record on this LP. And following this, we have another stellar run of songs on side B. There's the Groove Machine, I Wish, where the bass and horns bring a lot of spice to the recipe once again, but Wonder's lyrics and choruses are not to be ignored. I love his playful reminiscing about getting up to no good as a young boy, wishing those days could come back. Some people might recognize the fact that this song was essentially, reworked to make that Wild Wild West song for the Will Smith movie, which was also kind of the case with the song Pastime Paradise, which was the instrumental backbone to Coolio's classic Gangsta's Paradise. A more respectable redo by the Compton rapper, as he pretty much stuck with the dystopian vision of the original song and updated it for his current day context. But what's lost in the transition from Wonder's original is the great playing and chemistry in the performance here, as well as the subtle Latin influences coming through on the beat. Also consider that's colliding with some gospel-style group vocals, some classically influenced strings. It's a crazy combination, a masterful fusion, really, of a lot of different styles. On side B, we also have the Lovesick, Knocks Me Off My Feet, and Summer Soft. The latter draws some great lyrical metaphors between love and seasons and months. While the writing on the former is so lovely and sweet and shy, how can you not adore it? The creative pre-chorus on this track is great too. Wonder really is flirting the fuck out of this chorus, and eventually when it hits, it's so bright and huge and soaring. I don't wanna bore you with it. I love you, I love you, I love you. The breakup anthem, Ordinary Pain, closes off the first record with a big funky finish, and this track ends things on such a bang. This could have just been the album. This alone could have been the record, but no. Songs in the Key of Life continues. On to an inspiring side C, where Stevie sings about his daughter on the amazing Isn't She Lovely. Like, this is a song that has stuck with me since my youth, and as I've come to know and understand more about it, I'm just blown away that he's played basically almost every instrument on this thing. Plus, the harmonica solos he rips into in the latter half are just great. There's also the dreamy and choked up joy inside my tears. Then the record hits hard with the track Black Man, whose message of racial equity in America and the world fed through a historical lens should not be uncommon, but it is. It sounds like the kind of thing a MAGA moron would think is like critical race theory if you played it to him. It's also kind of dismal just how little progress has been made since this track systematically. There are even creative parallels, I think, between this one and Kendrick Lamar's Untitled 03, but hopefully one day the fiery funk grooves of this track can burn down the political hierarchy in our country. The last leg of the record sees things moving in a Latin direction once again, with Ungikulela as Una Historia. There's also the beautiful and simple harp-backed ballad, If It's Magic. The following performance on As is pure fire, easily one of the most explosive on the entire LP. And Another Star brings side D to a grand and soaring finale. The group vocals, horn sections, and hand drums here are just intoxicating. There's an intensely bittersweet quality to Wonder's singing and lyrics on this track too. But then from here we go into the additional EP of more tracks, some of which aren't as instrumentally extravagant as many tracks as the core record, but still very adventurous. There's the epic and kind of synth-heavy Saturn, whose social commentary takes a sort of interplanetary turn, with Stevie depicting Saturn as a place to go in order to escape the horrors of Earth. Ebony Eyes is some very quirky piano pop with lots of silly and somewhat flirty solo passages and lyrics. And then All Day Sucker has an incredible low, down, dirty, filthy funk groove, with some chaotic instrumental layering that gives the track some real bite. The final easygoing evening is a slow and syrupy instrumental, where Wonder shows off his harmonica skills once again, and it's just a very lovely, simple send-off jam for the whole thing. So yes, Songs in the Key of Life, fantastic record, amazing record, an album that's so goddamn beautiful and good. And look, overall, like in the history of popular music, there are few LPs that give and keep on giving in the way that Songs in the Key of Life does. There are so many great moments and tracks that can be spun over and over and over. Not to mention the record continues to pay out dividends with all of the songs and artists it inspires. So yeah, those are my feels on this deal. Hit the comments and let me know yours. And yeah, you're the best. Transition, have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head is a link to another video. Hit that up, or the link to subscribe to the channel. Click on something, will ya? Anthony Fantano, Stevie Wonder, forever.